Hi, I'm Beth, one of the curators working for In Between Time, and today I'm with Alke, one of the Mammalian Diving Reflex cohort. Do you want to start by just briefly introducing yourself?
Well, I'm Alke, I'm 19, I'm from Germany originally, from Henstedt-Würzburg, which is this tiny city next to Hamburg. And I love doing drama. Anything pretentious I'm in. I love a bit of dancing, I like a bit of drama, and at the moment I'm on a gap year because I just finished my A-levels.
Fantastic. Well, I feel like you've just explained this a little bit, but what drew you to being part of this specific performance?
I think, I was actually recommended it by Jay from Tobacco Factories, who I was working on a project with, and he said it looked really interesting, and then I read it and I was like, woo, what does VR theatre mean? And then I got involved by sending in my application, and I thought it was just quite a nice thing to do, talking about lockdown in a way that was quite accessible for people and less scripted and more just based on experience. I thought it was just a nice way to meet like a different set of creative people, because I've never met anybody that works with VR before, so it was very interesting.
So, I'm presuming the answer is sort of no, but did you know much about 360 film before? And then what have you learned during the making of this work?
I don't believe I did. I used to watch those like really shitty like Tom Scar videos where they'd be like sent like 360-degree cameras, but they like had to use them in like some sort of way and they never knew how. So like I watched like Meanwhile 4D, and then you had to like click and drag through like the YouTube video. And like when those came out, they were like a really big thing. But like other than that, not really. We had VR experiences at school, and we did like VR stuff with that. But I never actually knew it was something that you could like apply with filmmaking, I guess.
Yeah.
But I've definitely learned more about it in the sense of like how interactive and immersive it is. I think it makes you feel so much more connected to the performer. And we also learned a lot about like the ethical side of 360-degree video, because a lot of people do think of it as the one and only immersive film option. And while doing that, they kind of explore issues and think that they've solved them by making a film about them. And I don't think that's really the case, but it's been very interesting to like delve into all the different aspects.
So obviously we've been in lockdown during the time of you making this. What has it been like working with the team remotely during this whole project?
It's been really great. They're all just like so lovely. I think working remotely was something I was quite used to because I was doing loads of virtual rehearsals anyway. I think the way that we were doing it, we were doing loads of online games. We played a bit of Spyfall. We did like 2 Truths and a Lie, which actually was really hard, but we had a good time, and I think that's what counts, is if you're with a good group of people, just like relaxing and just not really putting pressure on anything in particular, then it should work regardless of where you are. And I think just the different inputs on like how the lockdowns were going from Germany, Australia, Brighton and Bristol was interesting to work through the process as well, because I know a lot of the things that we were all experiencing in Bristol were like completely alien to the people in Australia.
No, definitely.
Yes.
Definitely. So what did you most enjoy about shooting in 360?
I think my filming day was really intense because I actually had Fee with me the whole time.
Okay.
But we tried to get really active with it, and I invited a friend over and we played this game called Klop, which is a Danish stick throwing game where you knock blocks over. And it was fun just sharing the experience with someone who didn't have the base set knowledge that I did through the workshops, because he was so confused like why I was standing at the back of it or which angles we were standing at. And I think my favorite part was honestly like seeing someone else's perspective of it, because I was filming stuff at home as well, like in my living room. And I think seeing my dad's reaction when he was like, am I in frame? Am I in frame? The whole time, just like on the chair, like, am I in frame? Am I in frame? And I was like, well, yeah, most things are gonna be in frame. Sorry, lad. But I think playing with that, also realizing like how scary it is. If you were to just do a front on shot quite close up with like a close angle shot in like just, I guess, 2D, it wouldn't feel as terrifying and like someone's breathing on you. But I did like a few really close up shots just as a test, and then I watched them back and I was like, I'm not sending that in. Because so it was definitely interesting to see how things differed from person to person, and also what 2D and 4D could do.
Oh, okay. I can't wait to see it. I mean, I'm sad I don't get to see your up close and personal breathing.
I don't think you're missing out much.
What was it like collaborating between yourself and the whole team?
I think, again, it was just a really nice process. I think it was nice because we did so much building a strong base before we made the proper tower, so to say. You can tell I'm an English literature student, but basically we did a lot of team building and less talking about our own personal experiences towards the beginning and more about just like vaguely why we were interested, and then we realized that we had so much in common as a group that anything could really be discussed and it would be fine. And I think it was so nice being in a very like open-minded group where anyone and anything could kind of go by and no experience was like unheard, or everything was validated basically, and you got given the space to explore anything you wanted to. I think that was the best thing about it.
Oh, that's so good. How do you feel, I don't know if you thought about this, but how do you feel the audience will be affected by the work?
Ooh, see, I'm in the process of sending mass texts out to my friends to be like, hey girl, come and see this. I think they might have an idea about what it would be before going in, but before seeing proper like made for VR films, I had an idea too, and it was completely blown out of the water. I think it's seen as something that's meant to be quite interactive, but isn't like fully like finessed yet. But I think the way that we've done it is like, it's so precious how normal it is, that I think people are just going to feel quite at home in it, and it's not going to feel as unusual as they might think it might be, because it will probably just feel like they're on a walk with us or going on a little journey through our lockdown. And I mean, I hope so, because that's the whole point of the show. But yeah.
No, I love that. It'd be exciting to see how. I'm looking forward to hearing what people make of it. Along that same line, how has reflecting on the pandemic, has it affected you? Has it affected how you feel about it now?
Yeah, I mean, I remember applying for it and seeing that what they asked for was 3 positive things about the lockdown. And I was like, that's so interesting, because that's not what you normally get asked about it. Thinking about it, we had so many discussions about how beneficial it was for mental health, and how it was a judgment where you were barred from immediate judgment from people. So I know quite well, me included, a few of us had like gender evaluations with like exploring sexuality, and we're comfortable doing so because we knew that there wouldn't be any direct opposition to it. I think it was also lovely because it was the first time where you could probably put yourself first and not feel bad for doing so. And I think that's really important, because now whenever like I feel like I'm at my limit, I know that I can put myself first, because it was a completely foreign concept initially. And while it definitely had its lows, I think it's established a level where the lows can be more manageable, because I'm more adapted to manage the lows.
I love that. Yeah, I think that's been a lot of people's experience of it. It obviously comes in waves. What kind of art do you want to make in the future? Do you want to?
Oh,
like self-directed projects. What are you thinking about?
Wow, good question. I mean, since the aim is Edinburgh, my big aim is like, I'm not doing drama at uni, but I'd love to make a group with some friends and go to the Fringe. And I'm really inspired by like people from my childhood, like Matthew Bainton and like the Horrible Histories crew that used to like begin by making shows at Edinburgh, and hearing how they like sold basically nothing, but they're so brilliant. I think it's just a really great place to start creating. I'm applying for Made in Bristol this year.
Yep.
And that's a project with Old Vic where you're in a company with like loads of other young people, and you create a show by the end of it that is performed for like a month or two, I think. And I think that will be a really good experience too, because that's like lived-in experience at a theatre company. But I'm always writing stuff, I just haven't had a chance to like try it out yet. But
I look forward to seeing something
like
in the near future.
Yeah.
And then final question, why did you want to meet a Mrs. Potts today?
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I haven't managed to go here much recently because stomach problems.
I was thinking pandemic, but yeah.
Pandemic too, but ouch, my stomach. But I used to come here almost every day, like during school, after school. It was while it was at the bottom of the hill, but it was like kind of a safe space. I had like a 30% discount at one point for everything because they just all knew me. And I used to come in, I used to bring all of my friends. I was literally known as the Miss Potts person. Like if anyone was like, where does Alke want to meet? It would always be Miss Potts. And it's just like a really nice environment. Park Street in general is amazing. It's near the Arnolfini, which is one of my favourite museums in Bristol. It's near my old sixth form. It's near some really nice natural places like Brandon Hill. And it's just got all the best of every world. And I think Park Street's really important for like the independent business venture. Yeah. And it's quite like an ethical shopping district, I think. So I really like Park Street.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me today, Alke. Thanks for the cake. And I can't wait to see the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.